Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here from KiwiKing77.com, and it's time to review the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge variant. Now, as you guys know, Samsung came out with two variants, the S6 and the S6 Edge, Edge being with dual curved screens on both sides. Now, in this review video, I'm just going to be talking about the Edge features and essentially if the Edge is worth the extra $100 that it costs. Now, if you want to see more on software, screen, all that interesting information, battery life, I will post a link to my full Galaxy S6 review in the description if you want to check that out after this video. But now, let's go ahead and focus on the Edge and check out and see if it's worth that extra $100. Alright, so here we go. The S6 Edge is on the left, the blue variant, and the regular S6 is on the right with the white. So you guys can get an idea of the color difference between the two if you were interested in that. Let me go ahead and just flip both of them over for you. So there is a little bit of a difference in the color. Personally, I'd say I like the blue just a little bit better. It's actually kind of a dark blue, so only if it hits a certain light does it actually look really blue. It kind of looks very, very dark blue. So anyways, let's first talk about the design of the Galaxy S6 Edge. So as you can see, you have a little curve on both the left and the right side of the device. And honestly, right away, I was pretty shocked by it. I really enjoyed looking at the display. It definitely had a wow factor to it. And even everyone that I kind of hand the phone to and say, hey, what are your first impressions? They all say, wow, this is really cool. And it really is neat. Now, looking at it has been great. There are a couple downsides, though, to the design. On the left here, it's super thin. So it just has a little metal strip here that's very thin, and honestly it just makes it kind of hard to pick up even when you have it flat on the table. It's so much easier to just pick up the regular S6 as opposed to trying to grip onto the S6 Edge and pull it up just because it's so much thinner. To give you an idea, let's go ahead and put both side by side. You can see a bit of the screen on the Edge because it falls down. But yeah, I mean, you'll see that there's just only a little sliver of metal that you can grab onto. And honestly, it's a little sharp as well. So holding it for extended periods of time got a little bit uncomfortable and a little awkward just because it's a little bit difficult to hold on to, and sometimes you find your fingers kind of spilling over. Not as dramatic as that, but occasionally you can kind of get it where you're holding it and your thumb might touch the right side of the screen on accident. But still, it's really cool using it. Just kind of watch how the text just spills off the display, and even that image in the bottom right. Just overall using it, I still find myself in awe even after the length of time that I've used it. Just kind of pulling this over and you'll see just the image and text just kind of swipe off the screen, and it's just a really neat experience. And as you can see here, here's just a test video. I did want to point out something. You see a bit of a glare on the edges no matter what. Watch how this image just kind of flows off the screen down at the bottom. It's just a really cool feature, and I just think aesthetically it looks really great. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna get a bit of a glare on the Edge just because of the design. No matter kind of how you hold it, there's going to be a little bit of the glare. I didn't find it too annoying. Honestly, it's there, but it's not a huge deal breaker for me. Now, with the Edge comes a couple features as well. They actually have their own settings menu. So if we go into settings, you'll see Edge screen right there. So let's go ahead and go into it. So the first two you'll see is Edge lighting and People Edge. So essentially what happens is you'll have a tab right here, which shows up on the lock screen as well, which is called People Edge. And you set a specific contact to a specific color. So if I tap on it, you'll see I have the option to make a phone call. So if I select it, it's going to actually call that person. And then also, if I go ahead and go back, I can go ahead and compose a message. So if I select it and press this message icon, it's going to go straight into the messaging app so you can compose a message. Now, it's important to make note of the specific color because there is a feature when you get a phone call from one of those people. It's called Edge lighting, and what happens is that the side of the display will light up a certain color, that specific contact color, when your phone is down. A little interesting feature. It's kind of neat. And also what you can do is press your finger on that heart rate sensor on the back if you want to ignore the call, and it will actually send a specific message that you can kind of customize. You can turn it on or off. It's called Quick Reply. right here, and you'll see you can have it right down there. You can choose, or you can just turn it off altogether. Now, honestly, I don't put my phone face down very much in general. Kind of funny because I have one face down right here, but no, I honestly really don't, so I never really use the feature that much. You might find it useful if you're in a meeting or something like that, but overall, I haven't really found a huge use for it, to be honest. You have select notifications from those people where you have missed calls, messages, and emails. People Edge, I think it's pretty cool, especially because it utilizes that edge right here. Like I said, you can make a call, you can make a text directly from it. And let me show you what happens when you do get a text message. So you'll see I have a text here called Hey YouTube. I just sent myself a random text, and you'll see right here blue shows up because I have that contact coordinated with the blue color right there. So it'll show up on the lock screen like so. You can unlock it, and it's still there when you have it on the home screen as well. So swiping over, it's really neat. You have the message show up, the time, you can make a call, you can X out of it, or press the messaging button as usual and go into that messaging app. So pressing X is going to get rid of it. Unfortunately, pressing X in there doesn't get rid of the actual message in your notification tray. I found that a little interesting and odd. So in my opinion, this People Edge feature here is probably one of the most useful, especially if you have a top 5 contacts that you usually talk to, you text and call back and forth. All right, finally, those last two, you have information stream right here where you can have different feeds show up, edge screen, timeout, and weather as well. So let me show you that. Basically, you can just kind of swipe on the screen, and it's going to load up some information on the edge. You can specify what specific information you want. So you'll see, get to show the Blackhawks winning. It's obviously kind of having a hard time with the orientation here. You'll see you have stocks, you have news, Twitter feeds, all that good stuff. You have your notifications. So you'll see I have 2 messages and that test message that's still right there. So very interesting. Honestly, I didn't find myself using it that much. If I wanted to mess around with my phone, I honestly just was like, okay, why don't I just turn it on and use it? So overall, that information stream wasn't my favorite. And then also you have one more feature called Night Clock. And you can set the time when it shows up, etc. Honestly, Night Clock's okay. I don't mind it at all. So when the screen's off on one of the edges, very dimly right now, I think because it's essentially during the day, you'll see it'll show the clock right there and the date. So it shows both of those. I don't actually know why it's so dim right now. At night, I've had no issues seeing the specific time, etc. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's utilizing that edge. So I mean, that's just another feature that I have on, at least at night when it's easier to see. So that's really it when it comes to features on the Galaxy S6 Edge. I'm hoping they'll add more in the future, just to kind of add more functionality to that curved display. All right, so just want to give a couple final thoughts and let you guys know if I think it's actually worth the extra $100. It definitely has that wow factor. As I said, every time I look at it, even though I've used it for a little while, it's still like wow, and everyone that sees it's like, that's really cool. And I'm really glad Samsung took a risk with it and kind of went out on a limb and did a nice new design feature. I think that's awesome. Thumbs up, Samsung. Honestly, I don't think it's worth an extra $100 though, unfortunately. Like I said, design's great, but it's kind of hard to hold at times. It's a little uncomfortable to hold. It's hard to pick up off a table. Just kind of functionality wise, it's a little lacking as well with those software features. Hopefully more can get added in the future. But like I said, I really like how the content just kind of flows off the screen and just kind of spills over. It's really neat, honestly, but $100 is a little steep. If it was $50 extra, I'd say that would be a little more acceptable, but $100 is just a little bit too high for me personally. So yeah, I mean, I'd like it better. Honestly, I definitely would prefer the S6 Edge over the S6, but like I said, it's not really worth that extra $100. So that's it. Hopefully you guys liked my review video of the S6 Edge. A lot more to come, a lot more cool videos, so please click that subscribe button. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. All links in the description of the video below, and as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.